I had to pull my camera out just in case I was gonna be attacked. He is so. Is it a he or she? He is so beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that coat. Wow.
And he had mange real bad when I first got him.
Wow. How? Oh, he likes me. He rubbing his body up against me. Oh, wait a minute. Am I about to be? Wait a minute. Mr. Eric has been over about 10 years. I'm about to get frisked. I've been celibate for over 10 years. Lord have mercy. Today I'm about to get a free pat down. What's his name? What's his name?
Job.
Job is
Yeah,
beautiful.
because he had that mange, and we asked the vet what we should name him. He looked at him and said, Job.
He is so handsome. How old is he?
6.
Did you get him when he was a baby?
He was 6 months when I got him.
Oh my goodness.
Job, here. Hey, get over here. Hey.
Hey, Job.
Right here.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Vanessa's Van Life Journey. I am here today doing another interview with Nomad on the road, and we are here to talk to Mr. Eric today, who lives in a travel trailer, and he has converted it to his home, and he lives with a beautiful, beautiful dog named Job. Hi, Mr. Eric.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. It's a pretty day.
Can you tell us a little bit about your pet, Job?
He's a Doberman. He's 6 years old. I've had him since he was 6 months old. He had mange real bad when I got him, and that's why he got his name, Job. It's J-O-B. They are, if you can make it through the first 3 years of a puppy Doberman without killing them, you ought to be up for sainthood. They do try your patience, but they're a wonderful animal.
Wow, he is so beautiful. Is there anything you do to keep his coat looking like that?
I just feed him good food. I feed him Imes.
Imes?
Yeah.
How many times a day does he eat?
He just eats once a day.
Wow.
I had him neutered, and after that he started getting really fat. So I had to cut back on how much I was feeding him.
Yeah.
I do have to watch his weight.
So how often do you get him groomed? Do you groom him or take him to?
I take him at Tractor Supply. They have a thing where you can, it's like a dog wash, and that works out real well for us. And it's not very often I do it. I do clean his ears about every other week.
Okay.
Because he had ear infections.
Okay.
And so that I have to keep up on that.
He is such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful dog.
And then my home base is in Texas, in Waco, Texas.
Okay.
And so I have a vet there. Whenever we're back in town, I always go there and have him checked out.
Or are you part-time?
I'm full-time.
Okay. So you have just a home base, but you don't have a domicile in Waco.
My son has a house there in Riesel.
Okay.
And I stay there. That's my address.
Okay. So how long have you been doing the nomad life?
September, it was a year.
Okay. And what made you want to do this?
My parents were snowbirds. I grew up in Independence, Missouri, and they would come over here. They would go to Brownsville, Texas in the winter, and then stayed in Independence in the summer. And I thought that was a good way to live. And then I started watching Bob Wells videos. I thought, I think I can do that. And I had a lot of people tell me, you're crazy, you're gonna go nuts, you can't do that. If you try to live in a little space like that, it's gonna drive you crazy. And then I had other people say, man, that's the coolest thing I ever heard. For me, it works. I don't think it's for everybody, but I think it is for me. I don't live in there, I live out of there.
So that's what I tell people all the time. You have to remember that your van is for sleeping, cooking,
Yeah,
and eating, but you're living outside of your vehicle. It's not van life as in living inside the van. It's living life. It's using the van to get to you to
yeah,
where you want to be so you can live life.
yeah.
So I see that you have a motorcycle helmet in the back of you,
Yes,
and you have a motorcycle over here,
yes.
which I'll show the people later. But so, what kind of activities are you doing outside of your home?
Uh, I, with my dog, I walk a lot. That's my favorite. I like, and my favorite thing in life now is sunsets.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I feel real close to my higher power when I see that.
Okay.
Uh, and I like riding my motorcycle. The main reason I wanted that was so that I could cut down on expenses a little bit. That gets 55 miles to the gallon.
Okay.
So the
Wow.
less I have my truck moving, the more money I'm saving.
That's a blessing. And it's a beauty too.
Yes, it is. That's grasshopper.
That's the name of your
Yeah,
motorcycle?
looks like a grasshopper, don't
Yes, it does.
it?
Grasshopper. So, you say you've been doing this for a year.
Yes.
Would you go back?
No. No. I got a little bitty house, but look at my backyard.
Yes, it's beautiful too. It's
Yeah.
beautiful, and you're sharing it with your beautiful pet. Do you have any tips or advice for people that have a pet that want to do this type of lifestyle?
uh, I think it's it's just like anything else. You know, a pet is a responsibility, and it is a big responsibility. I don't think you should get one if you're not willing to make that commitment. Uh, and that's that's whether you're in a home in bricks and sticks or if you're living like this. If you're going to have a pet, take care of your pet. Uh, get a good vet. I keep him on heartwarmer. Uh, some people will do it when they think it's necessary. I keep him on it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It may shorten his life, but it's adding to the quality of his life.
Yes.
And
So, what kind of challenges do you run or have you ran into, or you think people will experience having a pet? Like, what's the pros and cons of having a pet?
last year, when I was here at the RTR, I was on my way back to Waco. Now, there are people who have better insight on how to do things on the road than I do. But I was in just north of El Paso. Can't remember the name, but anyway, uh, he he got sick on
Mm-hmm.
the way home,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to stay there a while. But you do what you have to for your pet because it's a commitment.
Mm-hmm.
And so I cut my travel time down short, and I went back home and got him taken care of.
Okay.
You know, that's I think that's sometimes we do what we need to do. You're going to have to be a grown up.
Yeah.
You don't always get to do what you want to.
So, what was wrong with him?
He had an ear infection, and he had a tooth that was bothering him.
Okay.
And I didn't know what it was until I took him to the vet and got him checked out.
Okay.
I could tell he was sick. He wasn't. He was real lethargic.
Mm-hmm.
It scared me.
Mm-hmm.
It scared me. He's important to me.
So that's a con, but that's not really a con because that's just you doing what you have to do.
Yeah.
So what are some of the benefits and pros to having a pet?
I love having a dog. I've always had a dog. he's big enough that I feel a lot safer having him.
Mm-hmm.
He will alert if there's somebody around that he don't know. Companionship is great. We were talking about the cons. While we were talking, he went and made a mess. I got to go pick that up here in just a minute.
I didn't see him. He was by outside the whole time. How did he do that?
He went right over there. He's got his pride too.
Wow, I didn't see him leave.
Yeah.
So he is such a beautiful dog. And is there like any added expenses?
It is expensive. Dogs are expensive. The heartworm pills are expensive. They have stuff now, I believe, that will take care of heartworm for like 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't do that because I have him in places where there's ticks a lot of times.
Okay.
And so I use the kind that takes care of fleas, ticks, and heartworm. And that's a personal thing. But that's what I do.
Yeah. So what kind of places are you camping at? You're here in Quartzsite, Arizona. Like when you go to certain areas, what precautions do you have to take for that area with your pet?
If I'm in a Corps of Engineers park, he has to be on a leash. Because there's other people around, and other people aren't responsible for my dog. I am.
Yes.
And most of the time I like to boondock more than anything. I'm set up for boondocking.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the time I'll be in national forest and there won't be anybody else around, so a lot of time he doesn't have to be on a leash.
Mm-hmm.
I always keep an eye on him when he's not on a leash.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that's probably the biggest thing that I have to watch for.
When you're in an area like Quartzsite, have you been to Pahrump?
No.
Okay. So Pahrump is like a desert like this, but this has greenery. Pahrump doesn't really have trees or anything like that.
It's a lot greener this year than it was last.
Yeah, with the potential of the snakes and stuff here, like what do you have to do to?
I haven't seen any snakes since we've been here. Of course, I'm here in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
And we were in Strawberry Reservoir in Utah in the winter or in the summer because we wanted to be where it was cool. And he found a snake then.
Wow.
And I called him off of it, and we didn't have a problem.
What type of snake was it?
I don't have any idea. The kind that slithers. Come here. You're being a pill.
So, you are you considered a senior?
Yes, I'm 65.
Because you have a lot of white gray hair.
That's chrome.
By the way, it's beautiful. I love it. Do you have any advice? I have a lot of subscribers who be leaving comments on my channel, and they be like, I would love to do this, Vanessa. You're so lucky, and you're young, and I wish I could do this, but I'm older. What advice do you have for older people who find this intriguing and would like to do it, but they're saying they're too old to do it?
When I first started, I was still working when I started camping in my trailer. You don't have to do it all at once. If you want to get out there and try it, you don't have to jump in the deep end of the pool. Try the shallow end. Go out for a little while at a time and see if it's for you. That was the advice. I don't remember who. It may have been Bob Wells that I heard say that.
Yeah.
And I tried that, and that has worked out well for me.
Okay. So do you think it's a such thing as too old to do something?
I went camping last week. I wanted to go see Alamo Lake, and another camper here and I went, and he's 80,
Mm-hmm.
and he's doing good. Before I came out here, I camped in just outside of Corpus Christi. I camped with a guy that used to be my boss years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and he's 90. And he's
Wow.
still doing
So where's Alamo Lake?
it. Alamo Lake is a little bit northwest of Phoenix.
Okay.
It's about an hour and a half from here.
Wow. Did you guys stay down there long, or is it just
No, my truck was giving me a little bit of trouble, so I came back early. Because out there it's 20 miles off of pavement,
Uh-huh.
and I didn't want to be way out there.
Yeah, in the
and have to run
boondocks.
down.
Yep.
Of course, I've got my motorcycle. I could get out of there.
Yep. So you took your whole vehicle, the
Yeah.
whole setup, or you
Yeah.
just took the?
Yeah, I took the whole setup.
Okay. So you could have actually stayed.
Yeah.
Now, what is the best thing about traveling and having a destination in mind, but being able to change on a dime?
You can do what you please. You don't. For years, I worked in different industries. I was a printer, and then when that kind of went downhill, I started working for Coca-Cola. And I've always worked on machines, and it was production work, and I had to be on a schedule, and I'm not on a schedule anymore. And that's such a blessing.
So when it comes to community and meeting people, like what a lot of people, especially seniors, would probably think, I'm gonna get bored, I'm gonna be unsafe. Let's talk about the safety issue for a minute. How do you feel safe?
Yeah. I'm a lot safer here than I am in the city.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the first year I came to an RTR was last year,
Mm-hmm.
and I got volunteered to park cars. I was kind of a Walmart greeter at the RTR, and then I met some people there, and they hooked me up with the people that I'm camped with now, and I haven't met anybody that I just can't get along with.
Yeah,
And if you do, you got wheels under your house.
that's true.
You can go.
Yep. You know, when you live in home life, the sticks and bricks, your neighbors are your neighbors as long as you stay there. And I've seen so many Judge Judy shows, and so many, where the neighbors just are feuding with each other and almost about to kill each other.
Yeah.
And you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
have a choice with those people. It takes more to move from a sticks and bricks when you don't get along with people
Yeah.
than it does. And those situations sometimes get volatile. But you can avoid all of that by living in your vehicle with wheels.
Yes, you sure can. Another thing, where I was living, I lived there for probably 10, 12 years, and I knew one of my neighbors. Until I started to move and people saw me moving out of the house, I didn't even know who my neighbors were. Now, and they weren't bad people.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, we had a freeze the last year that I was in Bricks and Sticks,
Uh-huh.
when I was still working. And because I had my trailer, I was the only one on the block. Texas has great power grid.
We had the freeze too
That
in
was
Houston.
horrible. But anyway, I was the only one on the block that still had power because I had solar and I had gas. I was out there drinking cocoa and watching TV. And a neighbor from across the street, a young lady, saw that there were no tracks in front of my house and knew that I was a little bit older. And she came over and knocked on the door. I came to the door. She said, I just wanted to make sure you were okay. And man, that just touched my heart.
Yeah.
So I believe my father had a saying. He said, water seeks its own level. And you're going to meet the same kind of person that you are.
Yes. Especially out here in Nomad Land. like it's so many different people to gravitate towards, and you kind of get to choose where you want your gravity
Yeah.
to go.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed talking to you today. Is there any tips, any tricks, any hacks, any advice that you would want to leave the people with today?
Give it a try. Give it a try. You know, for me, it's been the best thing I ever did.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you, Mr. Eric, for talking with me today. I am going to do a tour of your vehicle tomorrow. You're going to the RTR, so you're going to have everything cleaned up and fixed up and
As best I can.
cutie patootie. So I'm going to catch you tomorrow
Okay.
over at the RTR. But today I'm just going to do a little panning of your setup, how you are in the desert. And so you're enjoying yourself out here.
Yes.
You're enjoying the company. Y'all get together. Y'all sit around the fire. Y'all have laughs and jokes. I've sat with them around the fire, you guys, for a few minutes. And Mr. Eric laughs at all my jokes. Like, I love people who laugh at my jokes. So he finds everything I say funny. So he good people, y'all. Mr. Eric, do you have any social media handles where people could follow you? Or
Nope.
so you're just a regular person, a regular smuggler person living the life, and you're not looking for no attention from nobody.
Nope.
Okay, y'all, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell and hit always, so you can come back and be notified each and every time we upload a video. Let me know if you like this series, you guys, and if you have any additional questions for Mr. Eric, ask them in the comments bar below, so when we meet up with him again, we could have something else to talk about, y'all. So I'm gonna talk to y'all later. And Mr. Eric is from Texas too, right?
Yes, Waco.
So y'all, this blood, this family. I'm gonna talk to y'all later. Thanks for watching. Bye now. Say bye, Mr. Eric.
Bye.
And let's pan out and say bye to y'all. Look at him over there. Look at him over there, y'all. He is just chilling like a villain. This is the life.
He had that bed. I took it over there to the fire, and that little Susie, she's just jealous as hell of him.
Wow.
She always gets up in my beard and stuff. She went over and peed on his bed, and he wouldn't get on it for nothing.
Jesus.
So I took it, washed it today, and he's finally getting back on
She
it.
gonna put her, that little wench.
Oh!
That little wench, she need
Yeah.
her butt whooped. I wouldn't be sitting on it too. He talking about I
He
ain't
would-
laying on that.
Yeah, he wouldn't, boy. He didn't have nothing to do with it. But I washed it today, so he's back on it again.
Oh, that's a good little story. Okay, let me get a